Hi guys, in this video we're going to try and duplicate the results of a live trading signal on a MetaTrader marketplace which went from $1,600 to $60,000 in 3 months. So here is the live trading signal. You can see the URL at the bottom and it's using the Hamster Scalping trading robot. This is a trading robot which, if you've been following me for a while, I have used over the course of many years, so I know the results are very possible, and indeed I did something similar in 2019, multiply my money more than 30-fold in a few short months. However, what I wanted to do for this video is to work with you, the viewers, and see how it could be possible to duplicate these results. So here is the course of action. First of all, we're going to analyze the trading history. With MQL5, you can see all the historical trades and even download them to a spreadsheet. Secondly, with some input from the trading history, we'll develop some optimizations using the Hamster Scalping trading robot. Thirdly, I want to talk about risks regarding this type of trading and a withdrawal strategy. And then let's talk about the trading environment that is required to pull something off like this. And finally, if it's okay by you guys, I just want to mention my Patreon page, especially if you would like to download the optimizations and try this yourself. So what we're going to do is to analyze the results of this signal. If you look at any signals page on the MQL5 website, you can download the trades into an Excel via a CSV. So here you simply just click on that and it will download it, and here's one which I did earlier. So this is the list of trades for the Hamster trade robot, the one on the signal page, and what I saw was that the Hamster Scalping robot groups trades together. So for example, we start from the beginning, and if we look at the this one's a bit dark, but if you look at the sort of exit time, so this is the time we've come out of the trade, you'll see that these times, which are similar, are literally the same trade. And you can see that the exit times are all within seconds of each other, which gives you a clue that this is actually one transaction just split into multiple trades. And what I've done is I've done the same thing. I've looked at the exit times for all the trades and I've grouped them into the same colors, so you can see that for example here, this one transaction here is 3, I'm counting that's quite small, so 3 points, just over 3 lots in gold for one trade there, and then we've got 10 lots of Kiwi dollar, and some pretty large ones. Look at this one. In one transaction, it's actually 20 lots of Kiwi dollar, but split into 4. And I think it's done like this is because it allows us to get away with more in terms of margin, especially if it's a hedged account. And this has all been achieved on a initially tiny account. So this all started off with 1.6k in this account, and it's the combination of the high leverage and hedge type of account which allows it to be possible. And of course, you need a very high win rate for this to be possible. And grouping this into colors like this, we can see that most of the profit was made initially using Kiwi dollar. You see here, you can see the profits. So one group of trades there makes 2k. It's 1.2k. And then it starts off doing all Kiwi dollar, and then the last set of trades. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 lots of gold trades, which bring the rest of the account up and bring in 34k of profit, and it's all on a bunch of gold trades. If we count each of these colored groups as one actual trigger for trades, because essentially they are just one trade entered multiple times, we are seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 trades. So yeah, essentially see 19 trades, which has created a 48k profit from a 1.6k. So this is done by just finding a high win rate of trades within a trading robot or trading system, and we can grow an account using margin very, very quickly with minimal trades. So I wanted to show you the optimizations we've been working on the Hamster Scalping trading robot. I'm using MT5 rather than MT4 for this, simply because MT5 is much faster. If you've got a multi-core PC, it can utilize all of these processes, unlike MT4, which will only use the one CPU. The other thing is that it keeps all the optimizations that you've done, so you can go back to them. You can also export them, so other people like our Patreon members can access them. Each of these optimizations has taken over 5 hours to generate, so it's a pretty long and consuming process. Anyway, let's have a look at some of the optimizations. So if I look here, I'll see the list of optimizations which I run. Now I did try and run some optimizations on the gold pair, but I couldn't get any of these ones to work for some reason. So I've gone back to the good old Forex pairs, and this is the USD CAD optimization that you can have a look at. And this is the optimization graph, so you can see it's done almost 7,000 optimizations, and each one of these dots represents how much profit or balance it has made from a $1,000 account using auto lotting at quite an aggressive rate. So right now it's sorted under profit, number of trades, profit factor. What I'm interested in is looking for the highest possible profit factor against a reasonable number of trades and a good backtest profit. So this is what I like to do, sort by profit factor, and then I will ignore any of the ones with low trade numbers. This is a year of backtest, so I want to see at least 40 to 50 trades to have some sort of statistical significance of positive optimization. So what I'm going to do now is just to scroll down and let's have a look. So what I'm looking at is profit factor. These are all high profit factors. Obviously, total number of trades 5 in a year is no good. I need at least 40 to 50. So I'm going to start moving down this list and see if I can find any which have 40 to 50. See a few ones which are quite close, 30s, high 30s. Let's try to get high numbers here. It's 30 odd trades, 40 trades isn't that much. Right, 40. Okay, here we are. So still a really good high profit factor, 89, 40 trades, and a 1k turned into a 38k account. And once you've got this, what you can do is you can simply right click and then you run a single test. Then if you click on the graph, you can see how the trades pan out in the back test. Starting from your 1k, you just let it run. So this picture shoots up here. And that's it. So that's the back test. You click on back test here. You look at the stats. You can also right click on here. You can save the report. If you like the look of this, you can go to the inputs. You can right click and save, and this will save the set file. And for the ones which I'm selecting, I've saved both the set files and the reports, the strategy tester reports. I'll tell you more about how you can get my files later on. And what I've done is I've pretty much gone through my list of optimizations, and then I've gone through here, selected the right one, and then I've gone into here, and each one I've gone through the process of finding the one with the highest profit factor from a minimum of 40 odd trades with the highest profits, and I selected the ones which I thought were most suitable for this experiment. I'll show you what these backtests look like. So this is the first one. This is the dollar-yen set. This is a high frequency trading set, almost 1,300 trades in a year with a 60% win rate. Here's the equity growth from January 2021. And there is a period here in the middle, about 30%, maybe 4 months here, where it just moved sideways and did nothing before it resumed its upward trend. So that's the only thing I like about this one, but it does trade frequently, and it does bring a 1k account to 322k. And then the second optimization I've got here is also dollar yen, and this one does 84 trades, but it does have a 93% win rate. I'm focusing on high win rates for the next sets, as it's the higher win rates which can allow account to grow very quickly, like the author's account. From the backtest results, just a dip in the middle here, and then it resumes its upwards trend. Okay, then I've got a dollar CAD set, and this wins 100% of the trades that it makes. It only does 40 trades, but it is a nice looking graph, 1k to 39k. And then moving on, we have this one here. This is Kiwi dollar. This is Kiwi dollar, 74 trades, and it wins 72 of them. This is a really nice looking linear chart. And then finally, we have the dollar Swiss. This one does 58 trades with a slightly lower 86% win rate. There are some noticeable dips in the equity here and there, but the trend is very much upwards. And of course, these optimizations are done with historical data. We just don't know how long the characteristics for each market will continue as they are. Having high percentage win rates within backtests can help identify if a set is working or not. In live trading, you always start small to see if the real results are showing similar results. If you're seeing the high win rates, then you can be confident that it's working, but if it's losing soon after you start, you can quickly remove it and find another optimization. From my tests here, the high frequency set on the dollar yen, which has a lower 60% win rate. This will be a lot harder for us to identify when it's going wrong because of the low win rate. Anyway, I hope that does make sense. If not, just drop me a message and I'll try and explain that further. And as a member on our Patreon page, I'll provide all the optimizations, the set files on all the back tests, so you can follow along and do all this yourself. More on my Patreon page a little bit later. To get these kind of results, we are maximizing the leverage in the accounts, i.e. massive risk for massive results, which sadly means that there is a 100% chance that you will lose your account at some point. What you don't know is where that some point exactly is. It's like a ticking time bomb. And this is where a withdrawal strategy comes in, and this is going to be different in different people. I personally would want to try and remove 100% of the initial stake if it can double. This means that from that point onwards, any profits and losses are risk-free. If the account continues to grow, it would be prudent to have a regular withdrawal of funds from the account. I also want to show you this slide. This is how the author of the Hamster Scalping trading robot trades. He splits a larger pot into smaller pots, and from each one will go maximum risk to see how far he can make from them. Most of them, however, end up losing the entire account, but he just needs a few massive wins to make it worthwhile. I've seen him do this multiple times, and at some point, however, you will see the live tracker which I showed at the beginning of this disappear, as it would have lost and wiped out. However, he would have taken a big chunk of profits out of it already. And now let's talk about the trading environment, what you need to have a chance of this working out. Firstly, a highly leveraged regulated brokerage account, the Hamster trading robot, of course, along with optimizations, and finally a VPS to ensure always on trading. I've provided my recommended broker and VPS provider in the video description box below. And finally, here's a link to our membership page on Patreon. Besides being able to download all these optimizations, the backtests and the set files themselves, I post trading robots and all sorts of other support materials for those who want a bit more in their trading and much more. And that's it for today's video. I also realized that I haven't yet set up the MyFX book link, and we'll link this when it's ready so you can track its progress, but I will be providing updates to our Patreon members. Until next time, happy trading.